Hey everybody, it's Indigone, and I was recently asked by Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles about doing kind of an overview of my Washington quarter collection. And I'm going to break this up because this is a lot to go over. It's going to be super long if I do it in one video, so I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is go by decade. So I got the 30s up top, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And I'm going to kind of talk through how I collect, what I'm keeping, what I plan to upgrade, all that. And I will do, in 4 parts on just the silver circulation strikes. I have not included any proofs in this. I do have those, and I do collect those as well. That would be a monumental undertaking as well for that one. So depending on if you guys like this or not, we may go over that. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and break this down, do part 1, which will be the 30s. And let me kind of push this out of the way, go over that, and I will bring you back in and kind of talk through the how and the why and the what I'm looking for. So let me get this cleaned up and I'll bring you right back in. Okay, so here we have the 30s. We have 32s. And again, they're not done just by date and mint. They're just done by date for right now. So 32, 3, or 32s, 4s. There are no 33s. 35, 36, and the 39s. So kind of short on the 30s right now. They are harder to find, and they are more expensive when you do find them, especially with mint marks. But we'll go over that in a minute. So this is how I collect. And this is the PCGS population report. And what I do is basically go through and expand all of the varieties. So look for 32 here, and there's the DDO FS 101. And what I aim for on most of these, and I don't have it in many cases, and I'll show you when I do, but I aim for whatever grade has 25 or less higher. So for the 1932, that would be a 66 plus is what my target grade would be. That would give me 23 higher. At the time this was printed back in June, on June the 5th. So some of these numbers may change. Most of them are fairly constant. But that one I would be shooting for a 66 plus. On the varieties, because there's much fewer of them, you kind of just got to see what makes sense. So on this one, I'd be shooting for like a 64, maybe a 65, depending on the price. I have seen, I think, both of the MS66 32 DDOs up for sale within the last, month or so, honestly. So I don't know what's going on with that, but those were both around $2,500-ish to $3,000. So too rich for my blood. I'm not looking to spend that much on those. So I'd be in like the 64 or 65 range. 32D, again, this is the big, most expensive regular coin of the series. So the non-variety is going to be in a 65, is probably, if I'd have to look again, it's probably around $6,000. That is the big anchor coin for the whole thing, right? So the 32S is actually the lowest mintage circulation strike of this series. 32D is the conditional rarity in a mint state. So look at the population in 64. You got 710 and then 1,272. Almost twice as many 32S's in that grade as there are 32Ds, which is why this coin, a 32S in a 62, is like $400. You have to go back to like an AU 55 or 58 to get a 32D for $400. I think it's probably might even be lower than that. It might be a 53 or 55, but much tougher coin than that 32D. So I'd be shooting for the 65 there, and I would actually like to get a 65 plus on the 32S, but those are down the road, not anytime soon. But like I said, I do look for all of the varieties. So you got the light motto, the medium motto, and the heavy motto, and then the double die on the 34s. I currently only have a slabbed medium motto, and it is a 66, which unfortunately is kind of hard to show all this on the columns. I do have a 66. I actually want a 67 plus in the medium motto. Those are fairly common for what they are. So they were held back on a circulation pretty regularly in 34. But same thing right on down. So you just go down through the varieties. And again, so like for the 34 double die, the highest is a 64. And it'd probably be anywhere between a 62 through 64. Anything mint state would be acceptable on that one. That is a big coin, very expensive. So not looking to find one of those right away. But let's go through what I do have, because that's enough about how I hunt. Let's see what I've got. So I do have a mint state 63 1932. I think this was like $60 on Whatnot. Might even have been less. I don't know. But I didn't have one slabbed that was this nice. Mine was a AU 58, I think it was. So I just picked this up real cheap. This is kind of a placeholder for me. I do want one higher, like I've said. But that is the first date of the Washington series. So kind of want something in that slot. And again, here's the lowest minted Washington quarter in the circulation strike side. So mint state 62, and it is correctly graded. Does have quite a bit of bagginess out there in the field, especially in front of his eye there. But it is mint state. It's pretty coin, blast white. The 32s, all of the 32s have what's called the weak motto. So you see how weak the In God We Trust is compared to, say, a later date where you're going to have the heavy motto. It's just much softer, and it wore super fast on circulated examples. So I do have a mint state 62 32S. Next up, like I said, I did have the 34 medium motto in a 66. This is a really pretty coin. Don't get me wrong. It's a very nice coin. It's got that original skin, tons of luster to it. These were struck very well, very high grade typically, and they were held back from circulation. Very nice coin, but I do want to upgrade that one. Next up is the 35s. I have two of these. This one I will be putting up for sale. Anything I show you in these series, and if I say it's up for sale, I'm going to hold off from, I'll say a week from the posting of this video before it gets listed on eBay. If you have interest in that, please reach out to me at indigoandemon@gmail.com, and we can work something outside of eBay, save us both some fees and some cost, because the price does go up when I have to pay the fees. But this one's a gorgeous toner. Got really pretty reverse tone. Look at that green down there in the bottom of this coin. Very, very nice. Very pretty coin. And the only reason I'm getting rid of it is because I have the nicer one. I have one that's a 67. I do like that coin a lot, but I don't need two. And I do think this one is a nicer coin. It's hard to get PCGS to grade any Washington quarter higher than a 67 unless it's toned. For whatever reason, they very rarely, I don't think they've ever graded a 68 that was blast white. This one is very clean. I don't think it goes higher than a 67. I would love to see it in a 67 plus. I just don't see it. Because you do have a few marks. You got one on the cheek there, that bag mark right there, and you've got some marks down here on the bust. But the fields are super clean, very pretty blast white coin. just dripping with luster. Very nice coin. So got that one in there. Again, this one is going to be for sale. It's not already. Next up, 36, and I have two of these as well. So I'll go over the 67, and this one is toned. It's kind of got more of that original skin look to it, that older, slightly darker tone to it. Very pretty. Got mostly blast white reverse with a little bit of album tone, or that peripheral rim tone to it there. Very nice coin. And again, this one's a 67. And on that one, I think I actually will be targeting, let's see, yep, 67 plus is the target on that one. So this one eventually will probably get upgraded. For right now, it's upgrading this NGC one that I picked up. This one was just picked up for sale because the price was right. So I will pass that on to everyone if they so choose. Beautiful blast white example. It is 66. I honestly think this one's probably a decent candidate to send to CAC to see if it'll green sticker. It's very pretty. It might even gold sticker. I doubt it though because of the bag marks right there in the field in front of Washington's nose. But it is definitely close. I think it's probably a 66 plus. I would not be the slightest bit surprised to see this one with a green bean. If it doesn't sell, I don't think I'm going to list this one on eBay right away. I think I will go ahead and send it to CAC with some other coins that you will see later in the video. But that one I think is nice enough to go. Next up, we have the 39. This is the most common coin in Mint State 67 plus and Mint State 68 in the entire Washington series. Let's see, get the population for you. So a 39 actually has 27 MS68s. There's 99 67 pluses. That is just crazy because the whole series, or the whole silver series total, there's only 240 Mint State 68s, and 27 of those are from the 1939 Philly. This is if you're just going to buy one and you want the highest grade you can possibly get a 39. And I will probably upgrade this one at some point. But again, the price was right. It is a very pretty coin. It's definitely a 67. You see that nice kind of bluish tint on the reverse, bluish tone there down at the bottom. It's very pretty. I love when the 30s Washingtons do this. And they get that blue tone to them. Obverse is not as pretty. I will say that. It's got a little bit of a haze to it. But overall, very clean. Got one mark there on the cheek. Otherwise, super, super clean example. And then the last coin from the 30s is a variety. So 39 D over S in a 66. And let me refer to my notes here. There are 5 in a 66 with 2 higher. So this one is right on target with where I want to be. This one will not need to be upgraded. And it's a good thing too, because it's a 39 D over S over mint mark, which is actually the 601, if you can see that in there. Or sorry, 501. I thought it was a 601 when it was an over mint mark. But at any rate, I think there's some confusion on this one within the community. Is it actually a D over S or just a D over D? But at any rate, it's a 66 with a CAC sticker, pop 5 with 2 higher. This one is in it for the long haul. This will be in my stack, or my collection. It's not really a stack. My collection for probably until my son decides to do something with it. If he decides to get rid of it after I'm gone, I don't see this one going anywhere. So very nice coin. Last one from the 30s. There's the 5 that are staying in the collection for right now. Here's the 2 that are going to be upgraded. If you did enjoy this, if you'd like to see more of, say, the 40s or 50s or even the 60s, where there are many more coins and many more varieties, please let me know, and I will go ahead and record those, and I will see about posting those, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to do different. I won't go over the how and the why on the rest of them, but if you did enjoy this, please hit the thumbs up, and thanks for watching.